Winding down the college football season, it is that time of year where we're going to take a look at the first official college football playoff rankings. So, as we know, this year we have a 12-team format, and I basically want to just focus on like the top four or five, see if they got it right, if you guys had any problems or issues with the list at hand. Number one, you got Oregon at 9-0, two Ohio State at 7-1, three Georgia at 7-1, four Miami Hurricanes at 9-0. Five, the Texas Longhorns at 7-1. Six, Penn State at 7-1. Tennessee at 7-1. Indiana 9-0, sitting at number eight. Number nine, BYU. BYU is also undefeated, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
8-0. 8-0. Notre Dame sitting at 10 at 7-1. Alabama's at 11 at 6-2. And Boise State with Mr. Genty killing the
Didn't I tell
game.
you
They
Boise State
seven and
would get
one.
in
They at
there?
12.
Didn't I tell you about Boise State?
Yeah. See how
Genty.
sneaky they could be. How they gonna be when they start facing the big dogs, though? We'll see.
Well,
That
well,
that
Right.
that's what
fact
the playoffs
that
about,
fact
boy.
remains, but he's a generational talent, though. Definitely having a killer
Well,
season. But
I'll have to
anyway,
wait and see what they do.
based on these rankings right here, do you guys have any problems uh with the list at hand? Do you think they got it right?
Well, from what I see, I think that was the first week's predictions. From what I am currently seeing, they got Oregon at number one, Georgia at number two, Miami at number three, and BYU at number four. And I think the explanation that I have heard is the top four aren't going to get the top four. It's based on conference championships and shit like that.
Period. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
obviously this is pre-conference championships.
correct,
Mm-hmm.
Stuff won't
correct.
look the
Mm-hmm.
So,
same, probably after.
so the current playoff, from what I'm seeing right here on ESPN.com, is Oregon one, Georgia two, Miami three, BYU four.
Mm-hmm.
Only surprise that I see is BYU. Yeah, they're undefeated. Very shocking. They're not known to be a football team. They're just like kind of like Duke, known to be a basketball team. And
I
it's
mean, they've
very
been tough in
surprising.
football some years, though. Certain years they've been tougher. They've been a
Yeah,
lot
yeah. I mean,
tougher.
obviously they've been tougher because they're in, the top four of the college playoff predictor. And that's probably my biggest surprise. What I would love to see is um, who did Notre Dame lose to earlier this year? Northern Illinois. I
Mm-hmm.
would like to see them continue to win so it doesn't make Notre Dame's loss to them look so bad. And right now they're matched up against Penn State. And if that were to be the game, that'd be an incredible game.
Would.
No question. I'd look at remaining schedules. All these guys, they're gonna win out. Like certain teams like Indiana, they're not gonna win out. They play Ohio State. Um, Georgia has got some gauntlets left at 7-1. Looking at their last, few games, they got Ole Miss, Tennessee, yeah, for these next couple games. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got a couple tough games left, so we'll see what they can do with that.
I mean, right now we really can't say anything, just it's a precursor of how things are looking. I mean, it looks pretty good so far. I'm glad they got Miami up there at three, but they probably should be a little bit higher, maybe two, because they've been dominant pretty much the whole year. You got them over Georgia, whatever the one lost Georgia, but other than that, man, that's the only thing that I really see. Boise State getting in there, man. Their schedule is kind of floozy, so I don't know if they're gonna finish that stuff out. But other than that, everything looks good or whatever because it's the pre bracket
Yeah.
projections, So all this stuff gonna be null and void or whatever, man. It's gonna be probably about two or three teams or whatever that's not even in this when it comes down to it.
Yep.
With the championship games and all those
Hmm.
things coming up, like I don't know, a couple of these guys not even gonna be there.
But I'm just trying to look for like one of these teams. Like, look at your boys in Pitt, dude. How about SMU? Did they get no love? SMU, bro, 8-1. They beat Pitt. Finally, Pitt
Pitt.
finally lost.
Finally, someone did. Yeah.
Yep. So, and they're at 13, but they could try to squeeze in there too. They're right behind Boise,
Yeah.
at 13. So teams like that, you gotta watch this is gonna win because I'm gonna tell you, teams like Indiana, they're at 8 and they're 9-0,
Hmm.
ranked eighth. If they lose
Hmm.
their one game to Ohio State, they're gonna probably drop out
Knocked
of the.
off.
you know, they're going to be knocked out with one loss, no question, even though it's going to be the superior Ohio State team. But certain teams are going to get screwed. So it just goes back to show no matter how many teams, 4 teams, 6 teams, 8 team playoff bracket, there's
Right.
always going to be that team
Yeah,
or two that
yeah.
gets screwed. Remember before this season, I had Nebraska. I was like, that might be that team that just gets screwed, that Big Ten team.
Hmm.
I was wrong about Nebraska. It looks like it's going to be Indiana, you know.
Hmm.
Nebraska turned out to be frauds. But
Right.
yeah, overall they got the right teams
They
in here.
did
Can't
good
really
though.
say
They did good. They did good. But
they
like you
do it
said,
better, but certain games they don't
too
show
many
up.
games. Too many
Yeah,
games.
they just don't show up certain games. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like Indiana mopped them like 56-7 or some shit.
56 to
Like,
7, yeah.
yeah, ridiculous. But
Right.
overall, they got the teams right. They got the order pretty much right. We'll know a lot more after, you know, the regular season's over and then we get the conference championship. So
Hmm.
for now, it's all right.
Hmm.
A-okay for now.
Agreed.